Whoa, nice strike! What a match! Beautiful. Hey guys! So here in England, football is a huge deal. It's the most popular sport in the country. Life seems to revolve around it. So what must it be like for someone who absolutely hates the sport, which is commonly known as the beautiful game? I don't like any part of it. Playing it, watching it, talking about it. Firstly, playing it. Now this only ever happened in PE during school. The inevitable team picking always resulted in the exact same thing. The best and most popular footballers were picked as team captains, and then they each in turn got to pick who they wanted on their team. Which, of course, was just picking off, in order, the best to worst footballers of the year. And of course, I was always in the final three. That's good for the old self-esteem. Well done, teachers! So at this point, they're not really bothered who they get, and they just unenthusiastically go, I'll take Adam. When you know that if they had the choice, they would much rather you be the guy that has the sponge in the bucket in case of any injuries. Which I would have gladly have done, because that wasn't able to criticise me. Because the thing was, during the match, the popular lads would always have the ball, and they'd be passing it to their mates who are also in the popular crew, and unsurprisingly also good at football. So whenever, say, I got the ball, I just want to get rid of it as fast as possible. Usually, whichever way the ball went, I ran in completely the opposite direction. But on rare occasions that I did get the ball, I'd just boot it away. Which of course led to, "What are you doing, Adam? Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, you shit, you!" And given the well-known hierarchy of high school, you don't talk back to the popular kids. So I just had to stand there, in my shorts, freezing cold, taking all this abuse. Which obviously continued in the changing rooms, where various impressions and insults would fly around about how you performed in the match. The impressions would normally consist of the popular kids flouncing around the changing rooms, two limp wrists, a lispy voice going, "Ooh, Adam, don't pass the ball to me, I'm gonna break a nail, ooh." And of course, because they were the popular kids, you just had to shut up and take it. Because these were the hard lads who probably play football daily, started going to the gym when they were 13 and probably kissed about 24 girls already. I'm still waiting. Ah, high school, the best days of your life. But now that I've left high school, football shouldn't concern my life anymore, right? Wrong. I live in Manchester, where there are two huge football teams, Manchester City and Manchester United, which are colour-coded blue and red. So people could say, "I'm a Red Devil," or "Blue Moon Rising." Don't ask. So, when I was in Australia, people would always ask me, "Where are you from?" And I go, "I'm from England." They go, "Oh nice, whereabouts?" I'd say Manchester. And I kid you not, every time they'd always ask, "Oh nice, red or blue?" To which I'd of course always reply, "I don't like football." And I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, I always got this reply. "Are you sure you're from Manchester?" It's good to know that's what my city's renowned for. Secondly, talking about football. Now, you might be thinking, well, if you hate the sport, why would you ever have the need to talk about it? Well, currently I work in a DIY shop, hardware store, which is a very testosterone-filled environment, filled with proper blokes like bricklayers and builders with the big muscles and the deep voices and the large facial hair, surrounded by big tools. And the hardware's not bad either. So, I'll be at the checkouts, and especially on match days or days after match days, customers will only want to discuss one thing. And I've honestly done this more times than I care to admit, but I've actually blagged my way through a conversation about football. In some instances, they just keep going on and on about it, just dropping footballers' names, and I'll just be stood there scanning their items, nodding and agreeing, "Oh yeah, it's rubbish, yeah." But then when they finally ask, "So what did you think about so-and-so's performance?" I just reply, "Yeah." Because either way, that could be seen as a disappointed sigh, or like a, "Wow, what a performance that was, breathtaking." So I've got it covered either way. Sometimes I'll overhear my workmates talking about football, and often I'll hear them say a sentence, and then I'll just relay it onto a customer. It's like the real life equivalent of copy and pasting. Or I might even hear him just say a player's name, and then later when asked by a customer I can just go, "So what did you think of Rooney's performance last night?" And that'll keep the customer chatting until the transaction's over. Sorted. Although one time I actually dug a hole for myself. A customer asked me, "So what did you think of the match last night, mate?" To which I replied, "Yeah, what were United playing at?" And he paused for a moment and looked at me and went, "United? They weren't playing last night." And I was stood there frozen, was like, "Oh shit, I've been rumbled, oh god." And he just went, "Do you mean Chelsea?" I went, yeah, Chelsea, that's who I meant, yeah, Chelsea. I don't know why I said United. But now I'm seeing customers more frequently, and the same faces are popping in, so now I'm just running out of steam on talking about football. So I've just started to slowly wean off it week by week, up to the point to some customers I've just told them straight up, I don't like football. Which leads us to a section I like to call, things people say to me when I tell them I don't like football. That's a mouthful. That's what she said. Actually, she couldn't. In at number 1, I don't like football. Fair enough. Number 2, I don't like football. Oh. And that just kills the conversation dead, and the rest of the transaction proceeds in silence. And finally, the most common response I receive, I don't like football. Really? What, are you gay or something? Now this one really annoys me. I'm not gay, but what has that got to do with anything? What does a person's sexuality have to do with a sport? Oh, is that what it's based on, is it? Your sexuality is based on a sport? Right, so all heterosexual men love bricklaying and drinking pints and watching football. Is that right, is it? Yeah. Shut up. I've always just wanted to reply, yeah, I am gay. Just to see their reaction. Just to see them sweat. Just like, there's nothing wrong with that. And just grab their items and run out. Anyway, that's my experience with football. Soccer! And just to summarise this whole video, I fucking hate football. And that's why I think I'd make a great boyfriend, because on match days I'd be available and I'd much rather go shopping. Oh god. That has to be the campest thing I've ever said. Oh, I'm going to take it out. No, I'll leave it in. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bye!